Hello. Welcome to a new series of XCOM Live and Impossible. Beagle wants me to explain what Live and Impossible is, but that idiot already made an intro to it a year ago, so I'm just going to use that. What an idiot. Roll the clip.
Whoa, you can't use that intro. I mean, this isn't even Ironman Impossible. I mean, well, yeah, it is Ironman Impossible in difficulty, but it's very different from the series I call Ironman Impossible. I mean, this isn't tightly edited, it's not 10 minutes of jam-packed non-stop action, and it certainly doesn't have a catchy jingle. This is just me, XCOM, and you.
Except it's not just XCOM, it's also the Long War mod. Beta 11, don't forget that part, idiot. It's just some live XCOM for you to enjoy alongside the Ironman Impossible videos. Cause Ironman Impossible videos take a long time to make. For real. So enjoy. Or don't. Human emotions are meaningless to me. Without further ado, XCOM War Within, Live and Impossible. Have fun.
Right, let's do some Long War Beta 11. Hello, and welcome. Difficulty Impossible. Did you catch it? Right there. There it is. Just make sure you're seeing that. Impossible. Ironman. Reduced beginner VO. I generally don't play with Operation Progeny or Slingshot. I prefer having the more random cancel missions come up. Who doesn't love bomb missions? Second wave. Long War adds some new second wave options. I'm not going to go through all of them and list every single one of them, but I will say that I use strict screening. Basically, in Long War, it's standard for rookies' starting stats to be randomized but balanced, so, you know, some troops will have less mobility, but they'll have more offense. Some troops will have more defense, but they'll have less will. Vice versa, stuff like that. I don't like that. I'm not a fan. I like all my troops being the same, except for their level ups, basically. So I like all my rookies starting with the same stats, so I use strict screening. But that's about it. And from then, it's just a stock Beta 11 Long War Ironman Impossible campaign with no DLCs enabled, so let's go. So, with your base location in Long War, it's different from Vanilla. Vanilla, you can honestly get away with doing a lot of stuff just to your flavor and taste. Long War, obviously, is much harder, much longer, and you need to be much more strategic. So, choices like North America start looking much better. The air game, the Interceptor versus Aliens game, is much more punishing in Long War. So you have to worry about stuff like, maybe I really do need to have a discount on aircraft weapons, you know? It's not just, it's much more important than in Vanilla, where it's like, I like Asia, I'm going to go to Asia. That said, I'm still going to pick Asia. But in case you haven't seen the all the benefits before, Europe is the same pretty much. Like, this is what it was, wasn't it? I think in Vanilla, labs and workshops cost less. South America got changed because free interrogations were pretty broken. It got changed to power facilities cost 60% of their regular cost to build and maintain. It's focused around power now. You're still never going to go to South America because the bonus isn't that great and it's two countries. Although I should say, I'm sorry, I should say now actually that there is a good reason to go there not related to the continents now, because you only get money from continents you've put satellites on anyway now. So, you know, it doesn't matter. You get a little bit of money from other countries, but the point is, it doesn't matter how many countries you have in your starting, you know, area. Anyway, sorry, to keep going, Africa's pretty much the same, and Asia's pretty much the same. Labs and workshops are much more important in Long War, but you know what? I like Asia. I like their bonus enough to think it stays competitive, and I just like the Ring of XCOM Asia, so let's go.
You'll be heading into Japan for the next mission. We've picked up a local broadcast indicating alien activity within a major metropolitan area. We should get down there and eliminate any hostiles.
Operation Hot Ring in Nagoya, Japan. I've been to Nagoya, Japan, actually. It's the one place in Japan I've been to. You can see everyone's dressed up in their nice little default uniforms. Long War lets you set a default rookie headgear and uniform, and you can choose what they will wear when they level up automatically as well to save you some customization time. And I'll tell you guys how to do that in an annotation or whatever afterwards, but just letting you know that you can do that. Anyway, let's get down there with our 6 rookies and let's do this.
Strike 1, this is Central. You are free to engage all hostile contacts in the AO. Don't take any chances.
You'll excuse me for making you watch every single cutscene, but no matter how much I play this game, they never get old. I love the Sky Ranger cutscenes. Anyway, who have we got? Medvay, Fugelman, Lantern, Drake, Organ, Kamikaze Melon, alright. So, for those of you who haven't watched any of my Ironman Impossible stuff on Long War yet, I'm gonna try and keep this a little bit shorter. I don't take an hour to finish a mission anymore. So these can be like, 20 to 30 minutes, just to keep you guys, to give you guys a little more bang for your buck than waiting for me to do something for an hour. But I will just say straight away that I'm probably not going to spend a huge amount of time detailing every single thing that's different in Long War, like I kind of do in the Ironman Impossible, because by this point I've been doing a lot of Long War streams and video, and I'm assuming you guys kind of get the idea that there's a lot of different stuff. And most stuff should make sense when you see it. If you see a sectoid of low profile, you get the picture. Some sectoids have low profile now and stuff like that. But if there's anything big, I'll try to mention it. Just keep in mind that there's a lot of stuff different, and you're going to see stuff that isn't necessarily the same. But for the most part, I'm just going to try and play through this and not keep you guys waiting forever. So, I don't really know what to call this map. The middle of nowhere pizza store, the pizza settlement, the DiGiorno's factory, whatever you call it. You can't see it, but right here we've got the pizza place, and then you can't see, but to the left we've got a big truck down here. There's a big semi that blocks everything, and then there's a convenience store right here. It's essentially the same building you've seen in Operation 4 Fading Fog, that Iron Man I just released, but it's in a different location. You've got different exterior, but you've still got the roof of a different entry point now. So, like I always say, the roof's the best place to go. Now I said I wasn't going to waffle, but I actually am literally thinking here what I'm going to do. What's my squad look like? You get randomized items in Long War, so let me take a look. We got a ceramic plate guy. He's got an extra hit point with an AP, 2 AP grenades, AP flash, AP grenade medkit, AP flash, AP HE. Not a lot of HE, 2 flashes though. So we're not going to be doing a lot of cover destruction. It's going to be some breaching and clearing with some flashbangs, a little bit of delaying actions. We're going to be up close so we can turn the flashbangs into safety for us. So it follows naturally that we want to get on this roof. This roof is scarier to get on than the other version of this building though. Usually the ladder is here on the other map. You can see how there's no windows, no doors. It's easy to get here without someone seeing you. In this case, because there's a window there, by going up this pipe, anyone inside the building is going to see us when we try to get on the roof, most likely. So we can reduce that chance by kind of taking a clever path up there, but it's still quite likely. But we're going to try and get on the roof here. I'm going to lead with my ceramic plater for the obvious reasons of putting your tank up front. And we're not going on the roof because there's sectoids inside the pizza place. And a drone, which I'm never happy to see. Alright, well, in that case, I'm not going to risk there being another pod on the roof just yet. I want to get a handle on these guys first. We don't have to get on the roof to flank, we can go around the back door. Especially if we dash here. So obviously we can't really stay here on this position, so we may as well dash up.
Moving.
No additional contact, that's what I like. And we've got one guy with the ceramic plate tanking. That's good, that means other people can sit kind of back, stay out of the line of fire if possible. I'm going to dash Drake all the way over here to see if there's anyone around on the corner. There's no one around that corner, that's good, that means we can keep dashing. We're going to go for a very aggressive first move here before we take too much fire. I'm going to dash as many people as I can. And just get everyone into a good position before they start overwatching and suppressing and pinning me. And because drones are no joke, I need to start putting firepower on that ASAP. So let's keep it going. Google, go, go, go. Organ, go, go, go. Kamikaze, go, go, go. So, I mean, it's not an ideal way to make contacts. They're going to get free shots against us, but it's better than getting stuck out here before they start Overwatch pinning us. I'd rather be up here in good cover than take some shots that may or may not do anything. Alright, so we're pretty good so far, as long as the drone doesn't hit me. Nice. So no casualties so far, no hits so far. That's good. Casualties, sorry, taking hits is just as bad as casualties in Long War. Maybe not as bad, but if you take hits in Long War, your soldier can get fatigued for a long time, and you really need all hands on deck, so it's very good not to be taking hits. Now, this might not necessarily kill him, so let's... If I take this flank shot here, probably going to hit him, the suppression stops, I can run kamikaze around to finish him off if he's not dead. You always want to think moves ahead here. You don't want to think, you know, one thing at a time. You want to be thinking moves ahead. And in this case, you need to think about stuff like, if I move Medvay here, I can no longer get Organ to this trash can because Medvay is going to block this spot. And that's going to make cutting the corner a little tougher. So let's start with this. Let's start with, well actually, I might also need Medvay up there. Let's start with Organ. Let's start with Organ.
Yes, Commander.
So Organ, take a sneaky flank. 70% is pretty good on my books. And there you go, no problems. Suppression is gone now. He's got to be regretting making that decision. And we've got a drone in the easiest possible position to deal with it. A drone that is not flying. Flying enemies get 30 defense. It's like they're in half cover. So, when you've got a drone on the ground, you're very lucky indeed. So we're going to put a lot of firepower on this drone to try and kill it before it starts flying. Because drones are almost impossible to hit when they're flying. And they are also incredibly tough. Because of their damage resistance. So they are priority targets. Like I said, very tough enemies. Very, very tough enemies.
Headed there now.
Oh my god.
That's a load of bull.
That is a load of bull. Yes. Who else can hit this thing? Maybe from that position, maybe not. You know what? I'm not going to take a risk getting hit anymore at this point. I'm just going to say enough. Enough to you, drone. Now, this might not kill it if I'm really unlucky. Yes! It did kill it. Drones have that damage resistance. You see there, the grenade rolled 4, but it only... Sorry, the grenade rolled 5, but there was 1 damage resistance. So, it's possible for the grenade to roll 2. Damage resistance takes 1 off. And then you've only dealt 1 damage to it, but luckily we didn't get that. Now, I need to stop this little guy from moving up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, he can make it to this doorway. That's going to be a flank. So I need to overwatch here. Make sure he doesn't move up.
They're falling back.
Alright, Navalpod. You'll have to excuse me if I run over my words a bit. I'm trying to keep it snappy so as not to waste your time. So I do things like say damage resistance instead of damage resistance. So, not a lot has changed on this side. We've still got him in a little Cold War with us, where it's like this Mexican standoff. He's just sitting there. And we want to deal with that, obviously. So, let's take someone who has a flashbang. And let's try and deal with this. In fact, if we have... I mean, we have 3 flashbangs, I think. Or was it only 2? Right, so we've got 2 flashbangs. Now, one of those we can use on these tightly packed little enemies down here. That's good value for money. And then the other one we're going to use to end this Cold War stalemate bullshit that's happening over here. So we have to decide which is going where. This one's obviously going to be the bang for buck one. This one's in good position to be the Cold War ender. So let's end the Cold War.
Heading out.
Oh, I can't end the Cold War. No, wait, there it is. I had it. Come on. I saw it. Oh, there it is again. No, I'm close. Swing wildly. Oh, you're kidding me. I saw it. There it was. There. Right? I've got it. I've got it. Fuck you. But he's flashed, so screw him. Now, it's not the most dangerous thing in the world to just step out of cover here now that he's flashbanged. And in fact, it's probably the quickest way to solve this solution. So let's go ahead and do that. There you go. Problem solved. Now we're going to move up and deal with these cats. Now, I don't necessarily need to waste a flashbang here. The alternative would be to go up on the roof, just hunker everybody down, and then dance across, jump down, and get them. But we've got issues with that. One is there's probably a third pack of sectoids, almost definitely, and they're probably in this part of the map. Jumping down off the roof, we're going to activate them, and that's another headache to deal with. The other problem is if we leave these sectoids alone, they're going to go on Overwatch. That makes it hard to breach them from the roof anyway. And finally, if we just hunker down, if we don't actually line of sight ourselves, which is tough because we'd have to get off these windows, if you just hunker down, it doesn't reduce the chances of the sectoids using psychic attacks against you. And you guys won't have seen this yet if you haven't played it for yourself, but in the new betas of Long War, sectoids have these really powerful psychic attacks. So obviously there's not a lot of point hunkering down. I mean, it protects you from getting shot, and that's great, but it's not going to save us from being psychically screwed. So let's avoid that. Let's just keep the pressure on them. I'm a firm believer that you want to keep the pressure on the enemy, because you don't want to let them sit back and turtle on Overwatch. And you know what? Extra benefit, we get the meld as well. Alright, so let's see here. We've got our flash. Is it going to reach? It's going to reach. Perfect. I don't know where the third sectoid went. I can't honestly remember. But it stands to reason he's got to be in here somewhere. I'm pretty sure he scurried that way. So we want to stick our flashbang where it's most likely, stick it as much to the side as possible, so we're most likely to hit him if he's here, and then we're going to get 3 disorients off the flashbang for 1. But before we do that, let's wait. There's no point flashbanging early. Let's see what our other options are. Now the guy with the HE grenade, Drake just did the flank, and the HE is the only way we would need to use the flash, I think, so let's just get everyone ready to move up here. And that means going through the kitchen. The kitchen's totally cordoned off here, so it's pretty safe to just run in there and get ready for a flank. We don't want to run through the main room. Running through the main room might activate any packs in here, or any packs to the left. We want to go through the actual kitchen itself. So go through the kitchen itself, Medway. Puts you in a nice position to flank next turn. In fact, I should do that with... Oh no, if I do that with Fugal, I'm going to open the door, and we don't want that. This is only safe because there's a door there. Otherwise, that wouldn't be safe. Now, who else can we get in position like that? Nobody. Okay. I mean, I guess we can get Organ in there. Yeah, kinda. Sure, why not?
Rolling out.
Go for it. And that leaves Fugal and Kamikaze with a flashbang. So let's take that flashbang I was talking about now. Right there. You want to shave it as close as you can to make sure you're upping your chances. And only 2 Disorients. But that does tell us interesting information. It does tell us that we've almost definitely got a sectoid in either over here or maybe just on the edge of this corner. But we know he's not in this corner, that's for sure. So what I'm going to do is just Overwatch. This other one might run out. Actually, you know what? I've got 2 AP grenades. I can either AP these 2, which might kill one, or do a blind AP in here on the one who doesn't have his aim fucked. Now these guys are flashbangs, so their aim isn't going to be as good, so they're not really a big threat, but they can still do psychic attacks, and it still helps to kill them, and that's a possible twofer. And maybe I should have done this before I threw the flashbang, and I could have saved the flashbang. But let's go ahead and try it.
Catch.
Because that's 2 less headaches to deal with next turn. Oh, he's there apparently. Okay. Well, there you go. I've wiped one out, so that's handy. Now this little piggy is not doing shit. And there's the other guy. So I'm glad I didn't blind grenade this doorway, because I would have been very upset when it did absolutely nothing. But now we have again this sort of little Mexican standoff situation where this guy is on Overwatch, and I can't do a lot about it. Now I could open this doorway and be very close. I'm going to get a range bonus, and that might be enough to kill him. But might is not necessarily good enough. I'd like to say I can hit him if I open this door, but I'm pretty sure this fridge is going to block me. So what's the good choice? I think the good choice here is to spend another anti-personal grenade. And just mess this guy's day up. Now, I'm not too worried about that Overwatch there, because he's flashbanged, and he didn't get to see me anyway, so whatever. Open the door. Get on the floor. And everybody walk to Xenosaur. You want to put your explosives as close as possible to enemies. There you go, there's the big damage. Explosive damage is randomized in Long War. You should know that if you've seen the Ironman Impossibles. But what you wouldn't know if you haven't been watching my streams is in the newer betas for a long time now, damage has quite cleverly been linked to distance. So there's no more pixel hunting of grenades really. If I threw this grenade, I'm liable to do, you know, 1 or 2 or 3 damage to this sectoid. If I throw it right here, I'm much more likely to do like 5 or 6 damage. And by here I mean on him, is what I'm trying to show you. So it makes sense, it's like realistic. You want to put the explosive as close to the thing that you want to die. So let's go ahead and flank this little guy. We want to advance as little as possible so as not to activate any extra aliens. So let's go ahead and use Kamikaze back here, and as long as we don't miss, that's going to be much easier. Shouldn't hit if you're flashbanged on Overwatch, but stranger things have happened. Jump through a few windows, and hey, you're golden. Alright, maybe you're not golden. Alright, you move here and you finish this. I'm done with this Fugel. Great.
X-ray down.
There you go. So that's 2 packs done. We're dealing with at least 1 more out there, obviously. And if we're unlucky, maybe a 4th pack. I can never remember with these early missions. Now that means a couple of things. It means 1, we're safe to pull back now and take the roof if we really wanted it. And 2, it means we've pretty much got control of these buildings. That leaves the enemies here. Here, you know, all in this unknown area. It's not like Vanilla or Beta 6 where there are certain areas where the pods could be. In the new betas of Long War, it's absolutely random where the pods can be placed. They could be here, they could be at your LZ, they could be in the fucking kitchen, they can be anywhere. And additionally, they patrol a lot more. But we're just assuming from what we can see on the map, obviously they have to be where we can't see. So how do we engage these areas is what we want to think about. We don't want to just run up to contact. We want to think, how can we be smart about this? And what's the best way to make contact if they're in these areas? Well, obviously you're going to get range benefits off being high up on the roof. So your best, I think your best bet here is going to be taking the roof. Let's say they're under this gas station, alright? You come up here, you drop down on them, dead. Let's say they're over here. You've got heavy cover, sign cover, you've got light cover everywhere, you can't be flanked because you're on a roof and they're not, and you've got aim bonuses off elevation. And you can sneak right up on them because you can sit in the middle of the roof and then they can't see you because, you know, you're blocked from them. You know, let's say they're over here. Again, rooftop. Bang, bang, bang. I've got the aim bonuses, you've got shitty cover. You know, what are you going to do? Rooftops are very powerful. But the other thing we want to consider is if they're under here, you know, why not leave a guy or 2, now that we own this building, why not use that by leaving a guy or 2 on the doorway, steady aim, breach the door open, and, you know, you've got that as well. And I say that like it's a thing I should be doing, but I'm actually thinking about it out loud, more than anything. Because that works great if they're down here, but that's kind of useless if they're in the other 2/3 of the map. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to commit completely to getting on this roof. I think that's the smart call. Now, of course, this can turn bad and ugly if they patrol into my front guys, and that's entirely possible. But you know what? Let's go with them not doing that.
Roger, Dodger.
Let's bet on our luck a little bit. Because worst case, if that happens, we can just run back to the roof anyway. So screw it.
Designated coordinates.
All right. So we didn't get spotted again. That's great. We get a turn to relax. Now, instead of moving everyone up already, I'm going to assume that it's possible they're on the roof. I'm going to play better safe than sorry, and I'm going to get the squad together before we breach that rooftop.
I'm on the move.
So I'm going to blue move those guys, and I'm going to dash organ.
10-4.
It's not me who came up with the concept of blue move. Blue move, when I say blue move, I mean a half move is blue movement, a dash is yellow movement. Now someone, I forget where I read it, but someone came up with this great idea of just calling it blue movement. They were writing a post about XCOM, and they said, you know, a blue move. And I just want to say, whoever you are out there, if you're watching, I really appreciate how much simpler it is to say blue move. I think it's a nice, elegant way of saying it. I don't know, I just like it. Bit of a tangent, I'm sorry. I just don't want to feel like I'm ripping off his saying like I made it. But blue move and gold moves, I like the sound of that. So let's go ahead and go up there. It sounded like the sectoids are off in this direction. Let's hope they're far away.
Heading there now.
Send up a guy to check it out. Hey, the roof's clear. Awesome. Now we just got the single strongest feature in the map to our advantage. You always want to exploit roofs. That aim elevation bonus is so good. And in Long War, because half cover is much better, it's 30 defense instead of 20. Because half cover is so much better, rooftops are that much better too now, because you know, the main problem with roofs used to be you had to take the half cover edges to use them properly. Well, now you've got not only hardcover signs sometimes, but you've also got pretty good half cover that's worth using a lot. So it's pretty awesome now. Rooftops are better than ever. Now listen. I probably talked over that. Oh, I'm sorry, but I heard little feet steps over to the right here. And it sounds like we've got a patrol that's coming around this right corner. I didn't hear any doors get busted open, but they could have come in through there. Let's assume they're coming around this right side, but leave the possibility that they're over here or inside this building. So we don't want to accidentally trigger them with our line of sight, so we're going to air to the right when we move here. We're going to stay on the right, because if we go to the left, it's possible that someone's head is going to get spotted over this little gap and they're going to see us. And we don't want that. We want everyone to stay very stealthy.
Moving out.
Stealth is key in how you start an engagement in XCOM.
Aye, Commander.
By using stealth, you're deciding when to make contact. You're staying hidden until you want them to see you. And that is, quite literally, the most important factor in deciding whether the engagement starts with you at a handicap or you in the dominant position. You know, it's the difference between you scrambling for cover unexpectedly or you having everyone ready in these like flanking L-shaped flank positions, gunning everybody down, and all your troops are in range to just drop down and run up point blank and stick rifles in their faces. So stealth is critical. You need to be thinking very carefully. Oh god, not like I just did. I didn't see him moving to the left there. You've got to be thinking very carefully and being very careful not to fuck up your stealth. Why does everyone want to go to the left? I'm actually going to take one for the team here. Save everyone else's move. Are you kidding me? I did that just to make you go right, and you're still... There you go. At least it works that way. I don't know. They like running to the left. It must be a gimbaled roof or something.
Affirmative.
Okay, and now you come around to the right.
Heading to that location.
XCOM pathing is funny sometimes.
Roger. Tracking.
Okay. There they are. Oh fuck! They're coming up here. No, go away.
I've got a visual.
Get him! Don't let him get away. He'll tell his friends. Oh yeah. That's what the fuck happens. You're not so clever now, are you, for figuring out how to climb up a pipe? Okay, so that could be, you know, that's a pretty good way to make contact when you kill an enemy on contact. And you get an entry frag, if I could use a Counter-Strike term. That's always good. And this is also a commanding position to be in. Look, we've got a flank right off the bat. If people had the mobility, if I was a little further along, I could get a bunch of easy frags. Instead, this is a setup for a very easy flashbang that leads into a bunch of easy flanks. So let's go with that. Where's my flash? That's priority 1. XCOM is a great game, but it has a lot of little bugs. Did I already use that for flash? I did, that's right. I ended the Cold War over here. So I don't have a flash. So instead what I'm going to do is... I'm going to make the elevation bonus give me as many non-ballistic or non-explosive kills as I can. And then when the worst comes to worst, I'm going to use my frag grenades to make sure they all die this turn. Oh, I've got an HE grenade. That's where this comes in handy. Watch this. Hang on.
Wilco.
So, you don't want to use explosives when you don't have to on little sectoids, because, you know, if you kill an enemy with explosives, you get less payback for it. You get less weapon fragments and shit. Now, I could be wrong here. I think if you use an explosive at all to do any damage to them, you get slightly less materials. But it's better than killing them completely with a grenade. You know, if you use a grenade and then finish them off with a rifle, I think you get slightly more. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to lead with an HE grenade on their little piece of cover down there. That's going to hopefully blow up that crate, if I'm lucky. Yeah, oh, okay, well, it could just kill 2 of them. That really isn't supposed to happen with HE grenades, because they actually have 1 less damage than anti-personal grenades. They're supposed to be for cover destruction, mainly. Well, I'm just a lucky bitch, I guess. Fuck it. Fuck tactics. Just shoot him. Great.
Good work out
XCOM, everybody. Operation Hot Ring. Throw
Labs are on.
high explosive grenades and ignore Valen telling you things.
Commander to the research labs. Commander to the research labs.
So there you go. We got pretty lucky on a bit
Welcome
of that.
to XCOM HQ, Commander.
Thank you.
Looks like they're really taking care of business down there.
Now,
And without so much as a scratch.
yes, thank you, Shen. Now, there's one thing I didn't do. That it would have been a perfect mission if I'd kept this in mind, but I forgot with all my talking and blabbering and acting like I'm some kind of XCOM commentator, is that I forgot to spread my kills around. This is very important. You don't want to take rookies on missions. You never want to take rookies on missions. You're forced to. You have to take rookies on missions to get them to be useful classes. And what I've done is, by not spreading the kills around in that mission, I've made it so there's a couple of troops who didn't get a level up.
Commander to the research
Shut
labs.
up! No, I'm
Commander
talking.
To the research labs.
So, what I should have done there is kept track. I should have said, Fugel's already got a kill, Organ's got a kill, Atlanta's got a kill, Drake's got a kill. I need to get kills on Kamikaze and Medvay. And I was totally in a position to do that. I was totally in a position to cherry pick who got what kill there at the end. But I just totally forgot for the purposes of the mission, because I was too busy acting like I'm good at the game for you guys. So,
Commander to the research labs.
yes, I'm
Commander.
coming to the research labs. Oh god, shut up. Thank you. Yes.
Every member of the
I'm here.
council is
Yeah. Okay. Everyone, shut up. So, like I said, you want to consider that. Now let's look who we've got in our barracks. Awo. I always like seeing Awo. Kilroy. Pretty good list. You got Cellar. You got Toothcake. You got some strong firepower in here. All right. Pretty good roster. So as you can see, Longwall, we're going to start with 25 soldiers here, 25 out of 25 roster. I would like to, in an ideal world, have at least 4 squads of 6, all at least specialist rank by the end of this month. Now I say the end of this month because the first month is what I believe the only month you can feasibly get away with only using rookies in your squad. I mean, you're forced to do it for the first mission, so they kind of have to balance it that way. I believe there are mid-month upgrades in the sectoids. They get like an extra health about 15 days into the month, etc. But for the most part, you can deal with them with just rookies with the right equipment. Once you get to the second month and months beyond that, oh boy, do not take squads of rookies because you're facing floaters, thin men, excuse me for hitting my mic, but you're facing some hard bull shit. And you don't want to take rookies on that. March is your best chance to rush as many rookies as you can before you really can't do that anymore. In the second and further on months, if you want a new soldier to not be a rookie, you've really got to wait till a UFO mission, because UFO missions are pretty easy and you can afford to bring rookies. I hate doing that. I want to get all my rookies out of the way fast. So what I try to do is I try to take as many rookies as I can on every mission in the second month. The only time I don't want to do this is you also need good troops for the second month. I've tried this. I've got into the second month. I did a perfect first month. I had like 30 guys who were all specialists. I played 30 individual rookies, each on their own mission in March. Got into I know the calendar, April. And oh boy, I didn't have any lance corporals, I didn't have any corporals. It was a bad time. It was a really bad time. You want to have good troops. You want to have at least a corporal as quickly as possible so you can get the officer training school and you can get bigger squad sizes. Squad size 6 to squad size 7 is a big difference. You want that 7th soldier, which you can get at Long War. Welcome to Long War if you didn't know that. So what I basically do here is I try and pick like 4 troops that I want leveled the most, and I take one of them on each mission, and then I take 5 rookies. And I try to keep leveling those specific troops up, so I've got 4 really good guys by the second month. Enough blabbering from me. You'll see it in action. You'll see me do it. Let's get this out of the way. So, good Steam placement. Good Steam placement. Great Steam placement. I have 2 Steam placements on the 2nd level. Halla goddamn Lulia. That is so great. I'm going to build 1 thermo generator, and I'm never going to build them again, because Steam is so much better. Start our excavation. Let's get a couple of satellites going. Oh, and let's get some sawn-off shotguns going. Welcome to Long War Beta 11. The sawn-off is good. Enjoy your stay. More on that when we get to use one in the next mission. Maybe. Prices went up in the latest beta, so I don't really build a Shiv anymore. I used to always build a Shiv. They used to be like 30 bucks. I don't build them anymore. They're 50 bucks. The standard Shiv is really good for these reasons. It's got a very powerful gun. It can't panic. It can't get fatigued. It's bad for March. It's bad because it can't level up. Every time you take a Shiv, you're not taking a standard rookie. I'm trying to level up as many soldiers as I can, so obviously I don't want to have to take a Shiv. I generally only used them for bomb missions where you need to move fast, hit hard, and not panic. And maybe a terror mission or whatever. So anyway, the point is, the price has gone up too much for me to consider building one now. Alloy Shiv, whole different story. Alloy Shiv is amazing, but that's not for a long time.
Commander, our current satellite
Thank you.
uplink facilities
Thank you,
are at full
Bradford.
capacity. We should build additional uplinks as...
Yes, thank you. So I'm going to build 2 satellites. I've already got 1 satellite up. I'm going to build a second... God, everyone's just talking when I want to talk. I'm going to build a second uplink here before the month is out. And that's going to give me 1 extra satellite, and then the adjacency is going to give me a second. So I'm building 2 satellites. We're going to have 3 satellites up by the end of the month. You do need those satellites for the extra income, my opinion. I feel like a satellite rush in the first month is always mandatory to get that extra money and to get the bonuses. Because people pay you to give them satellites and engineers. Yep, next on the agenda, let's name our interceptors. One of the best features of Long War. I love that you can give them names now. Well, that you can make them have a name that is randomly generated. And I usually, I split 2 interceptors with the Avalanche for killing the unarmored UFOs, and then 2 Stingray missile interceptors for killing the armored fighters. I generally wait till I've named them to pick, and I give the meaner sounding nicknames the harder hitting Stingrays. And Spitfire and the Hawker Hunter, you know what? Let's go with that. I like the sound of those names. Those sound like names that should be fighting fighter UFOs. We should be okay with 4 interceptors. Thank God. Unless we roll really bad. Don't need to hire any soldiers yet. If I'm doing well with my plan of getting a lot of rookies leveled up, I'll hire some more soldiers later on. Ideally, I say you want 4 squads of 6 soldiers, but because of the squad size, you eventually have a squad of 8. In a perfect world, you would have 32 ready-to-go soldiers by the end of March. That's probably not going to happen with the number of missions you get, so 4 squads of 6 will do us for now.
Seems the complexities of our latest research...
Good Lord, Valen, I just don't want to hear it. I know science is complex and hard. So research choices, let's go over alien weaponry. Xenobiology is expensive. This is the path to an arc thrower and an alien containment, both of which are expensive and take up more research time. I'll do it later. Alien weaponry, on the other hand, oh boy, that gives you the scope. The scope is one of the most important items you can build. You must get scopes, they are very important. Plus 10 aim is nothing to fuck with. Especially on a Rocketeer, especially on an infantry because they get to shoot twice, especially on a sniper because all they do is shoot. Get them, they're great.
I agree, that does seem
Thank
to
you.
be the most pressing of our current research options.
Thank you for agreeing with me, Valen. Okay. Now, I don't want the base building part to be longer than the damn mission, and I've been waffling for a long time, so let's get this going. Let's hit the button. Yep. Just, there we go. Alright.
Commander, we've picked up multiple requests for assistance. Abductions in progress are marked on the hologlobe.
We are going to Manaus, Brazil, on a moderate mission. Keep in mind the difficulty here. This is very important. This is how many aliens you're going up against. That is going to change how many rookies you take. If you get a swarming mission in your first month, maybe don't take 6 rookies. Maybe take 2 specialists and 4 rookies. I mean, you could still do it. They're still sectoids, but keep it in mind. If you're going on a light, calm panic mission, take 6 rookies. Get it while you can. But that also depends on the map. Yes, you can actually see what kind of map you're going to get now on the area of operations, which is quite handy to know. It only gives it to you in vague hints. It'd be a little bit overpowered to know exactly what map you're going on, and I'll tell you why. Because you might see urban large structure and say, a single large building that will require entry. Let's give everyone shotguns. Not as simple as that, because it's quite hard to categorize the maps. Maps aren't just a single building. There's often maps of car parks that you have to run across and have snipers on, and there's also the possibility that we are being sent on a mission to the metro station. That's the long, narrow subway railway station where you've got the train and there's not a lot of cover and it's really hard to push through. That's urban large structure because it's technically a structure. And if you take nothing but shotguns on that map, I know I keep saying hoo boy, but hoo boy, you're going to have a really bad time. So we're not going to commit too heavily to shotguns, assuming that'll happen. So because it could be a really tough map, I'm inclined to take a couple more rookies than I normally would. I mean, a couple more specialists than I normally would. And that's fine, because I want to level up people, remember. I want to get those 4 really leveled up dudes. Now, that means, who do I think needs to be leveled up the quickest? Which class is going to benefit the most from that? I've got choices between all of them here. Here's what I think. Here's my personal opinion. I think you need to get assaults leveled up really quickly. I think you need to get scouts leveled up really quickly. And I think you need to get rocketeers leveled up really quickly. And I'll tell you why. Assaults, probably my favorite class in the entire game. They were my favorite in vanilla. They're my favorite in Long War. They depend... okay, I don't want to say they depend so much on being leveled up so much as I really want to get one to a high level because then I get close encounters later on when they're at like Sergeant. Close encounters is an amazing perk that gives you a free shot when you're within 4 tiles of the enemy. It's fantastic, and I think it's worth rushing an assault up there to get one. Also, you're going to get perks like close encounters, close combat specialist right here. Always handy to have. That's the one that gives you free reaction shots against anything that comes near you. Always a versatile skill to have. You're going to get gunslinger at some point, which will let you have pistols that don't suck, etc. I think assaults are great troops to have at a high level, and they also get lots of hit points as you level them up. Always great to have a tank. And now, who else are we gonna... Let's take Zim out, and let's take a scout as well. Now, there's 2 reasons for taking a scout. One of these reasons is... Excuse me, let me just pick this. One of these reasons is scouts start with lightning reflexes, so it's always good to have one, because there is nothing tougher than being in the first month and being pinned by sectoids on Overwatch and not really having a way to stop them unless you've got a flashbang in range. So scout lightning reflexes, always great to defuse those Cold War situations. The other reason is scouts can take a variety of versatile weapons, like the marksman rifle for long-range support and the shotgun for close-range support. But the main reason we want to level them up is because scouts at Lance Corporal, they're going to get battle scanners, and then as you get up, they're going to get Sprinter, there's Flush. If you get them high enough, there's stuff like In the Zone. They're another troop that it really helps to have at a high level. And finally, should I bring the Rocketeer? You do want to get your Rocketeer leveled up quickly, but I also want troops, so maybe I'll take the Rocketeer on the next mission. Yeah, I'll take the Rocketeer on the next one. We'll go Assault Scout Rookies. Now, I like to put my guys in the same spots each time, so I'm going to put them in the same spots. I don't know if I'm just going to fast forward during all this boring equipping, or actually tell you guys what's going on as I do it. I think I might just fast forward and tell you after the fact. It'll be quicker that way. So let me just hit the tape deck right now. Okay, so, welcome back. Hopefully you can see why I fast-forwarded it, because I tend to take a long time to make agonizing decisions. But anyway, the point is here, now I can just quickly show you what I've picked. So you've got Fugelman, and you've got Drake with your 2 shotguns. These are people you don't want flaking out on you. This is why they get alien trophies. Alien trophies are an item in Long War that make your troop have the perk Steadfast for free. Steadfast is a perk meaning if someone else in the squad panics, this troop with Steadfast will never panic just because someone else is panicking. They can only panic by they themselves being hit or hit with a psychic attack. Panic chaining, which is when someone panics in the squad and then everyone else panics because they're panicking because of someone panicking. Panic chaining can wipe out your entire squad in like one attack. It's very scary. You want to have at least a few people who you can count on not to panic. And why not have those people be the most useful people? I say an assault is the best person to not panic, because they can run and gun. I mean, worst case, you panic, your rookies are all fucking panicking, you're getting flanked by a sectoid. Who's gonna save you? Run and gun assault is gonna run clear across the entire map and shoot that sectoid in the head, and you're not getting flanked anymore. I think an assault is the best person to have not panic. Same with the scout. They've got high mobility, you need them to clear overwatches, and they've got a shotgun as well. Although actually, excuse me, I'm not going to take the shotgun on Fugel, I'm going to take the marksman rifle. This is a new weapon in Beta 11. This is essentially a sniper rifle for all intents and purposes, except instead of squad sight, it's got no movement penalty. You can move and shoot it as much as you want. But it still has really bad aim at close range. You can't run up and shoot people with it. That's why we also take the sawn-off, let me get the right angle, the sawn-off shotgun. Look at that bad boy. The sawn-off shotgun is a very specialized weapon. It is a shotgun we've hacked the end off of. It only has a range of 1 tile. 1 single tile. This might get improved in the next patch. Maybe the 2 tiles. It's very short range is the point. It's basically a melee weapon. But it does shotgun level damage. It makes you slightly slower. It takes 1 mobility off you, you can see here. But it's a shotgun in your pocket. It only has 1 shot before you have to reload it. But for someone like the scout, it means I can have both long-range power with the marksman rifle, and I can also have short-range power with the shotgun, because the marksman rifle is not going to cut it at short range. So it makes the scout very versatile. Let's give Fugel a nice cute little hat. And let's give Drake the same. Why don't you get a beanie, Drake? Where's the beanie? There you go. So, yeah, marksman rifle. Anyway, you don't want them to panic. You've got the medkit. Medkits, you need 2 medkits in every mission, because if the guy with the medkit goes down, you need to be able to revive him with the other one. It's like a leapfrogging tactic. You've got... I originally took anti-personal grenades on everyone. I decided I wanted at least 1 HE, because HE is useful for blowing up cover, which is a big problem in early game. And then I realized, you know what? I'm just going to take HE on everyone, instead of worrying about the 1 extra damage you get off AP grenades. I'm just going to go full HE, and I'm going to bet all my damage on taking away their cover. And finally, we take a lot of flashbangs, because flashbangs are amazingly useful for crowd controlling groups of enemies. And we took a smoke grenade, because you never know when you're going to need it in those horrible flanked panic situations. So enough waffling, let's do it! Jesus Christ, long flight.
Prepare for deployment, Strike One.
Thank you. Ah.
Brazilian authorities have requested our help, so that's where we're going next. Alien activity continues to surge within several major cities. Our response is crucial to minimizing the spread of panic.
Welcome to the police station. This is a very, very interesting map. I love this map. It is such a great blend of wide open sight lines with a real close combat feel in the center. And it's got elevation to boot. There's no reason not to love this map. It's got it all. I'll bring this to you next time. Tune in if you like this kind of format, and for more of the same. See you then for Operation Forgotten Blade.
Z. Oh, I'm sorry. I fell asleep because some asshole just talked for 50 minutes straight. But I'm sure it was very informative and interesting. Now.